too useless.
What do you mean spaces? Just give me the key and put it in Skype.
I've pasted it again. Don't fuck it up this time.
Oh, it's my fault. Okay, yeah.
Of course it is.
Oh God.
Or
I'm gonna tell
since we're
Andrew
live
about
now.
you. I'm gonna tell Andrew. I'm gonna tell on you, dude. Papa Andrew's gonna come through and slap you so hard.
Maybe we are live.
We
Oh,
are.
we
we
are
are.
live.
We are.
We are live.
We are. That's how it works. Okay. All right. Enough bickering, Maciej.
You're asking me to do someone else's job, so this is what it is.
Excuses.
Excuses. Hey, I'm good at other things. I'm good at other things.
Like licking butthole.
I'm good at one thing, and one thing that always works.
Okay. So do we have to start over again, or is it?
No,
was
we're
the
already
instruction
here.
already live?
We're
We
already
can
live,
start
yeah.
over.
We
We can start over with the proper intro.
Yeah. Drop the bass.
Oh.
Welcome to the Twitch stream, Cornelius.
Hello.
This is too good. Oh God. All right, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Little technical difficulties due to Maciej and his potato fingers. I don't know what's going on over there. Yeah, Cornelius is here. Everybody say hello. Everybody say hello. Welcome to this stream, everybody. It's gonna be a fun one. You know, the thing we like to do is try to mix these streams up a bit so you guys don't get tired of us, Maciej and I constantly having guests on. And it's kind of like merging the Collective Podcast and Art Cafe into one spot for the school too, which is really cool. And just having friends on. I was just recently out at industry workshops, and I got a chance to meet Cornelius and just found out how freaking rad of a person he is. So I was like, let's hang out and let's keep talking. And then I, negotiated a tactic to get him on here. So he's here, although he's very shy, he says his English isn't good, but it's way better than my German. So yeah, so welcome on the stream, dude.
Peace, yo.
Peace, yo. Peace.
Peace, yo.
Yeah. Awesome. How many beers have you had now?
It's not beer. I'm drinking rum and cola.
Oh,
right
dude.
now. And
hardcore.
I had like one can. But it's I'm not like a good German in terms of lasting very long, so it's enough to get me funny.
Just getting it to another level.
Yeah.
Turning it up. It's like very common out there. Like alcohol is like very common in German culture, isn't it? I guess it's pretty common in every culture.
Well, you can start drinking with at the age of 16.
Oh.
Like beer and wine, I think. Harder alcohol is at the age of 18, I think.
Wow.
And so it's not like in the US where you have to be like 21 to drink beer or stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like
because we have guns, though. We have lots of guns. That's the problem.
Yeah, you have guns and you can drive. This was always very crazy with me because you can drive with 17 or 18, and in the US you can drive with 16.
Yeah.
And it's actually really easy to get a license, right?
Yeah, you basically have to be able to like eat a chicken sandwich and then they give you a pass.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to be Andrew. Eat a lot of sandwiches. And then
Yeah.
Way harder in Germany, and it's really expensive. It's like, I don't know, $3,000 to get a license.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
have to,
I did my
take
license
class.
in Germany.
Dude.
Really?
Yeah, my first license was done in Germany.
Because he asked me, and I
Oh.
told him, I said, Jay, I want you to go out to Germany, and I want you to get that license.
Did you live in Germany?
Yeah, I was there for a couple of years when I was with Crytek.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, in Frankfurt.
Yeah. I was there a week ago.
Nice. It's a shitty
that-
city.
Yeah.
Hey. Is that the Maxon thing that you were at? Is that where it's at?
Yeah, exactly. There was like the secret Maxon party.
Oh,
It was
damn.
like a surprise party for the founders and CEOs of Maxon.
That's rad. How many years? Like 10 years or something like that?
No, 30 years.
30 years? Oh, damn, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah. And all the crazy, like, talented C4D people were there. Raphael was there. The Ike Sponsor guys, I don't know if you know them.
No.
It's like the studio from Germany. They made this Red Bull thing and some Nike spots. It's like the German version of Man vs. Machine.
Oh, okay, nice.
So yeah, they were there, and yeah, it was nice. I was really drunk.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
30 years. That's a freaking huge
yeah, yeah,
accomplishment,
yeah,
man. That's crazy. Yeah. Did you
yeah,
get a chance to meet like all the peeps, all like the heads of the people that are running the show and all that stuff, the programmers
yeah.
and stuff?
Yeah, yeah, sure. I didn't talk that much to them, but I shook hands and stuff like that.
Nice. Take a picture. The
Yeah, I
bedtime
made like
selfie.
there are like pictures on Facebook. I took pictures from like really old Cinema 4D versions. It was crazy, like on floppy disk still and stuff like that. And
Awesome.
and it's yeah, it was fun.
That's
It's
cool.
like they have this I don't know the word. They have like this wait a second, I have to look it up.
You got it, dude. I have faith in you.
Like this vitrines with old C4D versions and stuff like that lying around.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. Like on the
It's like a
floppy disk and
museum.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. It's also like really
That's
cool to find out that you're using Cinema 4D, because as I've talked with you about this, and I think it's kind of interesting as well for everybody else, is that if people are like, if you're serious about 3D, you're gonna use like 3D Studio Max or Maya. But it's rad, like how you've gotten really far down the rabbit hole, but you've chosen to use Cinema 4D, and I think that it's a testament to just how powerful the program is, and just how like it's mostly up to your eye and your way of getting there. You know,
Yeah.
how much do you think that's true? Like just being able to get the results that you want. The program is the tool.
Well, as you saw on like industry workshops, every 3D artist there, not like every, but most of the like major 3D artists there, like you, Simon Holmeder, Raphael, and me, they all use Cinema 4D. So, and it's like back in the days, I thought like you have to use 3ds Max
Yeah.
become like a good artist, which is not true. It's like it's just a tool, you know. If you don't use Cinema, you use Modo or Maya or
Maciej thinks that
something.
you have to, but
Yeah,
his
well,
opinion
I
doesn't
don't.
matter though.
I don't think it's true. Well, there most of the like very powerful render engines like Octane, for example, or V-Ray are available for Cinema 4D as well. So there's like no, you can't talk your way around it and say like, yeah, what I have to use Maya because
Maya
it's
sucks.
I never used like an Autodesk
Stupid.
product besides Fusion 360. So it's like the first Autodesk 3D program I used, and yeah,
Same
well,
thing. Yeah, same.
I like Max.
yeah,
I like 3ds Max.
I never worked with 3ds Max. Everything I hear about it is like unstable and it crashes a lot. And
Oh, I could tell you
features-
some stories about cinema in that regard.
No, well, I had never. I had like the last crash on Cinema I had like 4 months ago. So it's for me it's really stable. But and most crashes I have it's like because of
You're pushing it too far, huh?
yeah, Octane crashes or V-Ray crashes or something like that. So it's not like
It's just software, you know. It's
Yeah.
just tools.
Yeah,
Whatever
just
works,
software.
that works.
Yeah,
It's the same
exactly.
thing.
if
much
if
like
I wouldn't
between
like
renderers.
if I wouldn't know 3D programs, I would basically I think I would draw maybe or would like learn to draw.
Yeah.
But I can't draw, so I
Well,
don't
you
know.
can.
The
Just time.
3D programs were faster for me back in the day. So I was on this road crossing and saw like one path leads to drawing and one path leads to 3D. So I decided to make 3D, and yeah, it's just a tool.
We have to be careful about those software claims because it's gonna start like a fanboy war on the chat.
Oh,
Maya's awesome. No, cinema for these
Blah, blah,
awesome.
blah,
No,
blah,
you
blah,
suck.
blah.
No, you suck.
How about we just say they all suck and they should all just be better? So that's better. How about that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
No, I mean
yeah.
they all. I mean the thing is, it's like it's like tomato to tomato. It's like it's like, you know, you put a piece of marble in front of anybody and you give them a chisel. The person that understands the vision behind what's inside the object is the person that's going to succeed. Everybody will have the same instrument, but the person that has the vision for what they want is the person that will succeed. And I think And eventually, I think the most important thing that I've learned from using 3D, and the further I go down it, is the more your vision is clear, the better you will be at learning the software faster and getting your goals accomplished. And it doesn't matter what you use. You can use, I mean, certain programs do things like you can't do motion in ZBrush. So, you know, like, at least I don't think you can. But, you know, if you're trying to create a complete thing, then the reason why I brought this up is for the most part, it's cool that you're holding down the fort for the Cinema 4D guys, because like your work is at a very, very high level that I think very few people have been able to approach. And I just think it's great that you're using a program that most people think you should just do like MoGraph with, you know, like simple shaded MoGraph. And I think you're showing the potential, and for people like myself, it's like, it's really rewarding to see that, because it's like, okay, great. Like you've proven that there's this ability to do this with this program. So it's just time to get in there and use it, you know, and make the best that we can with it, and really take this stuff seriously, and like do the best work that we possibly can. So it's inspiring for me, at least, and I think for a bunch of people that are in the Cinema 4D community. Have you found like a good response from this piece that you did, this last one, the 52 hertz?
Yeah, well, it was crazy. People always tell me like it broke the internet for 3 days or something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was a little bit overwhelmed, to be honest. It was like it felt too much. It was too much hype going on this side. So it
never enough, dude.
I posted it on Facebook the first time, and then I took a walk. So I get like all the notifications on my phone and can read them all, like, and yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
That's awesome, though. This piece in general, like the thing we talked about a lot as I don't know if you got a chance to see it, but I was telling you about the photographer Gregory Crewdson.
I have seen it yesterday.
What did you think of it?
It was really cool, and I don't know, I saw like a connection between me and him, because he puts so much effort in a single artwork, and I'm like a 3D artist who does that too. Like, it's quite rare to see this. And the other thing is he's like the master of hyperrealism, I think. I never saw like photographers putting so much effort in terms of hyperrealism, and I mean, he makes like photos of situations, and but it's not one photo. It's like I don't know, a mixture of several photos in one piece. Like, for example,
actually one photo.
Yeah,
but it looks like it's a mix.
The narrative aspect, though,
yeah, and they have like this in the post-processing process, they put like exposures from another photo into like windows and stuff like that. So maybe there's for example, the pose of a person is different in another photo, and they mix it all up in the end, so they get the perfect result. And it's like crazy, because I do it the same.
Yes.
So I make like region renders and put them in the original piece and stuff like that. And you can see like the workflows of 3D and photograph. They match somewhere in the middle. It's like a big line is drawn from photography and to 3D, and then they meet in the middle, and you get like the same workflow from it. So
it's really cool. I knew you'd like it, because I think you guys are like kindred spirits. Like, you guys are very connected in the way that you guys work and approach your work, by adding like, you know, that like adding that extra bit of fidelity to things that most people might miss or forget. But you're absolutely right. He is a very big fan of David Lynch's work, and he mentions that too. And if you look at his work really closely, and if you watch David Lynch's films that he's referring to, Blue Velvet or Blue Valentine, I think. I can't remember the
Blue
name.
Velvet.
Yeah, Blue Velvet. That's right. Yeah. If you look at the way that David was conveying light in those films and stuff, it's very similar. But the thing that I really love about his work is the narrative aspect. Just like, you know, the way he places props to suggest narrative. I think that's really brilliant and really smart. And again, the thing that's really interesting about his work that it was fascinating to me, and I think you found out, and it's something that I talk about all the time, is it was a big inspiration for the Ghost in the Shell tribute project, because I was like, well, there's this guy, if he takes all this care and work and puts it into a photograph, then like we could put all that care into a photograph as well, but we could use CGI. And when I saw your work, I felt like there was a lot of narrative aspects to it that were really interesting and thought-provoking. Is it something that you kind of have intention towards? I mean, when you watch Gregory's process in that film, was it kind of like shocking how much thought and time and care he puts into it, or do you feel like you're quite similar in your approach to making your work?
No, I think it's like similar. I try to hide several elements. I think a lot about it during the process, because the process takes so much time.
Yeah.
And so I collect ideas through my day. So I don't know, I drive around and watch movies, and I'm constantly thinking about what can I do with this area of the image, and what can I do with this area of the image. And so there's like a lot of little hidden Easter eggs all over the place in every image I make, and it's getting much more over the time. So like the images I made 2012, for example, like the sci-fi type of kind of stuff, they hadn't like these hidden Easter eggs, but they had, but not like in this not that much. And
Sure.
So the newer images, because they take more time, have like a lot of elements that I think a lot about. So, for example, you can find all kinds of like hidden messages from my daily life in there, and like from friends and my environments, and like problems I have in my life. And
What's Maciej doing to you? Did Maciej touch you?
no, it's mostly like this imposter syndrome stuff.
Imposter syndrome. Yeah, we should talk a little bit about that.
And like
wow.
artist insecurities and stuff like that. So you have like these all these things you have to deal with as an artist, like paying your rent and having not much time to do personal work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you somehow, I don't know, I somehow put it in all these images. It's just I don't know, I don't have a filter when I'm working on these, so I just do it and write all the shit that goes through my head in them, and it's like a collection for my daily nonsense.
That's cool. You mentioned imposter syndrome. If there's somebody that could give us advice, I think Maciej is pretty good at it. I think you're kind of interesting, Maciej, where you care but you don't give a crap. I don't know if it's from growing up in communist Poland or what, but you got some like thick skin, dude. But yeah, do you know what we're talking about, Maciej? Imposter syndrome?
A little bit. Can you elaborate?
It's like
Can you elaborate to my potato brain?
It's like a psychological conundrum that happens in many different artists and just people in general, where they feel that at some point when they're doing their purest form of creation, when they're being themselves, that they're going to be exposed for the fraud that they think they are, when in fact they're not. It's just this like weird thing that kind of
there's a little bit of that always.
Do you have that too?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. There's always that worry that whatever you do, and whether it's the purest form or not, you're not maybe reaching out the goals that you would wish and maybe are expected of you.
Yeah.
For example, like this image here, like 52 hertz, I don't know how I made it. It's like I think all the time, how did I do this? It's I know the technical process behind it, and it's not that hard for me, but it's like, fuck, man, how did I have this patience to do this 4 months? And it's crazy that, and I'm like in the middle of building a new image right now, and it's like the whole time I think about it, and it's like crazy.
Do you think that the insecurity part of it is what drives it, though? Like it makes you push that much harder to be better? Is that a part of the formula?
Sure, of course, because I don't know, the next image has to be better than the one before. It's all the time. It's like the simplest formula behind it. So I can't do the same stuff again. I have to like step out of my comfort zone. Like doing the stream, for example, is like a step out of my comfort zone. Making the next image will be not in darkness. It will be the first image that is like in bright daylight for me in ages. Or in general, I don't know. I never made like an image in bright daylight, and it's always one step further. I don't know in which direction, but it's like doing something you have never done before.
Yeah. No, I mean that's really good, and I think that I guess that comes with the territory when you're really trying to push yourself, because then you're really going against your own like best intentions, because you don't. It's so difficult, right? Like to constantly be pushing against the boundaries of what you're comfort with, you know, like.
Yeah.
But man, isn't it rewarding though when you get there? It's really tough the whole time until you hit that like stride, but it's awesome once you get there though.
Yeah, well, it's a bit weird. So I have like this image and it's finished and I haven't released it yet, and I look at it and I think to myself, yeah, I'm happy with it. And I don't know, I learned a lot about Octane. This was, for example, the first image I made with Octane, and it came out pretty good. And then I released it, and like the hype about it, the question I get asked, the magazine covers and all that shit that comes through it. It's, I don't know, it's I think, really, guys? Is it that special? But it feels good. Yeah, it's I think it's because I made this image. It's not like I know, like I can see behind the magic, you know.
Yes,
and it's not that it's, when I watch, for example, a David Fincher movie, it's like totally new for me, and I see all the details he put in, all the work he put in there, and then I can really enjoy it like a regular person. But if I make a movie myself or an image myself, I'm like part of the process, and that's the reason why I can't enjoy it that much as maybe someone else would enjoy it.
Sure.
So it's a little bit difficult to I don't know, to change perspectives on that.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, once you're so close to something, it's hard to have that perspective, because it is.
Yeah.
You see all its flaws and stuff, and that's kind of like. That's like, actually, to read some of your writing in here, you mentioned like saying no to a CD Projekt game because you love their stuff so much. If you look at, I said nay to CD Projekt Red because of games, and I like their stuff too much, and I don't want to ruin it.
It's like they approached me. They had like this recruiter, and they wrote me an email, and I was like, yeah, no, sorry guys, I would love to, but it's like the best game I played in 10 years, The Witcher 3, and I don't know. I want to remain a freelancer and struggle with my life and play your games for 3 months and stuff like that. Well, I don't know. There's like a very small line. For example, if David Fincher would approach me right now and say, I want you, especially you, to make the titles for my next movie, I would probably say yes.
Probably. I would just probably say yes.
But
certainly. But
if you say no to David, man, he gets pissed, dude. He'll send you spam all day.
I can imagine that. Have you worked with him?
No, I'm just joking. I have no clue. But I know that Alex Roman guy who made the 3rd and the 7th, from what I understand, he like Fincher saw that film and then brought him on, and I think he worked on Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and stuff.
Yeah, so. He made like these sequence with the car in the end.
Oh, he did? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Well, then he worked at Digital Domain then, I guess, right? Because Digital Domain did almost all that stuff. So they do
mainly facial stuff.
Yeah, but they did that. I know Digital Domain, I believe, ran that sequence. So I guess Alex headed it. I could be wrong, but that's what I heard from the pipeline. So yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Yeah.
That's crazy. Freaking Alex Roman. That's not even his real name, too. That's an alias name. It's not even his real name.
Really?
Yeah.
He's probably as shy as I am.
His name's probably like Ray McFwinkle or something like that.
Yeah.
Ronald McDonald.
And I've never seen. He made like this 3rd and the 7th movie and the Silestone TV commercial, and that's it.
Yeah, I think. Well,
and the book Of course.
And the book, yeah. I think I watched this interview that my friend Chris sent to me. There's an interview that he did, and he said that after this, he said he retired from his CGI.
Yeah, well, it's no reason to make anymore.
Yeah,
it's like the standard.
Yeah, stop it, Alex.
For many years.
This is like 40 years old too. He made this like on a
from 2009. 7 years old.
The computer he had 2 megapixel or 2 megabyte hard drive.
Yeah, crazy.
It's still insane. But I mean, he didn't. The cool thing, the smart thing is he when he did human subjects, 7 years ago that's when he made it, and it was made in V-Ray using 3D Studio Max. And that's why when I started, I was like, I'd see this and I go like, well, I guess I need to use 3D Studio Max because that's what people are using. But now, like, I think with Octane or all these rendering engines coming up, I think that it's possible to convey these things if you have a good understanding of shaders and stuff too. So, yeah. What the hell, dude?
The crazy thing is all the DUF, like the depth of field you see, it's fake.
Yeah,
made with a plugin for After Effects.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Did he render a depth pass? Is that what he did? Is that how he did it? Yeah.
He used the Z buffer and used the plugin Frischluft from Lenscare.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think the lens, the bokeh lens effect really helps. I mean, the thing that's really interesting, I watched one of his process videos.
Frischluft.
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 Apfelschorle. The only thing I know how to say is apple juice. That's when I was in Berlin. I was like, give me that Apfelschorle. Give it to me.
It's like apple juice with sparkling water.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I liked it. It's pretty
for
good.
After Effects, right? That plugin.
Apfelschorle?
Yeah.
No, it's for you drinking.
Damn, Daniel.
Yeah, the camera shake, the camera moves, the depth of field. There's so much stuff to it that really helps. But
great. It looks like it's hard to believe all of those shots are CG.
Yeah, it's really hard to believe. I think it's one of the most important things. I think what he said that in the interview that I watched is that he had been doing architectural rendering for 10 years. And then he was tired of it, so then he took 2 years off to make this film, I guess. I think it took him 2 years or a year and a half or something like that.
Dude, imagine how many assets he already had. Like all those juicy shaders and shit.
So many juicy shaders. But the thing I found that was really interesting.
Damn, Daniel.
Wow. Do it.
Wow.
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 Wow. All right, I'll stop.
Wow.
Stop, Maciej.
No,
but the thing is that's interesting is like his post work is what really brought it home. His ability, like the raw renders were pretty good, but his ability to do like really heavy comp work in After Effects really is what evolved it. I think that turned it up.
I bought his book. Like,
what do you think of this book? I'm still yet to get it. I've been wanting to get it, but it's just like I don't know.
It's rare, right? It's like it was €100 when he released it, and I thought, it's like limited edition and stuff like that. So I bought it, and it's not really that amazing. It's like everything he explains, I already knew.
Yeah.
So it's not like a big secret. He's just a good artist.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what it is always. Yeah, I think that's what it is always, and I think that. Even when people are taking like a Learn Squared class, if they get frustrated, it's like, well, I can show you everything I know, and most of the time you'll probably know a lot of it, but it's mostly your ability to see opportunities. I think really the definition between like a mediocre artist and a great artist is the ability to have the eye to see opportunities. I really believe that, like firmly. You put David Fincher on a camera, and then you put just an average person, and you're like, hey, take a photo of that. You're going to get a different photo. You just know you're going to get one from different people because one has a different eye than the other. And I think that really lends to it. This is something that's been a conundrum I've been trying to really figure out. It's been tough because I'm trying to figure it out over all these years. I still can't figure out what it is that makes that eye. But I think one of the things, and maybe you can attest to this as well, is like I think one of the things that makes a great artist is the unrelenting desire to be curious and wanting to fulfill like their curiosity with and knowledge and stepping outside their comfort zone. What do you think of that?
Yeah, and also taste. I don't know. It's like the sum of all the things I like. I think it's like on the one hand, it's like wanting to do stuff and projects and wanting to draw or something like that. Like the having fun on the process, not having just fun on being good at it.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, it's just good taste, I think. Like knowing the right movies, the right books, listening to the right music, not right, but like
what you like or what's good.
What I like and what defines my style, my taste, and the way I look at things. And for example, I forgot what I wanted to say. Sorry.
No, talking about taste, it's okay.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just, I think it's basically the thing you said, and taste. It's like the combination of these things.
Yeah, I think taste is really important. I often get asked from people, this might be a question I'd like to hear you answer too, is like, how do I find what my passion is? And what do you tell them? I know what I always tell them, but what do you, like, because we even talked about this too when we're at industry workshops, because you were just like, you're talking about like, oh, I want to do my next piece and I'm inspired, but I'm so scared. I'm like, what are you scared about? Just go do it, like you just have fun with it, like.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's like, for example, if you want to be a rock star, it's like two different things. Do you want to be a rock star, or do you want to learn it? For example, I tried to impress girls when I was younger by playing guitar, because it was easy to pick on
the oldest trick in the book. Damn it.
Yeah, it's like the oldest trick. You can play guitar very well or sing good, or you're in a band and you can get the girls. And I wanted to be good at playing guitar, but I didn't want to learn it. So it was like I didn't enjoy spending time sitting there and being shitty at playing guitar. I just wanted to be good at it. So and it's like the same thing with drawing for me right now. So if I would like sit on my couch and have like a piece of paper and would draw, it would be very annoying for me, because I can't do it and I just won't be good at it. Like I don't know, Jana Schirmer or someone like that. Yeah, it's like I just want to take the pen in my hand and be a rock star. And it's a different thing with 3D. I like playing around, even if it looks shitty. It's like very distracting and easy, and I don't know, I get lost in it. It's like fun to play around with it and pushing these buttons and don't know what they do and read about it and stuff like that. So I think this curiosity for like technical things in terms of 3D, that helps a lot, and it's like really important. Was that your question?
No, I think that's great.
Wait. Yeah. I think I get the gist of it. And it kind of, you said it before. You like to have those Easter eggs hidden in your renderings, and
here comes a joke.
The artistry put into it.
Here comes a joke.
And it's not a joke.
Okay,
and I feel the Easter egg here in what you're saying is that you want to teach for Lawrence Square.
Yeah, I think the thing is, with teaching, I'm figuring that out at the moment. I'm like practicing it, because I think it's like, I don't. Ash said to me on industry workshop that there will never be someone that makes like the artworks I make, because it's like, for my taste, as I said, and it's like I can teach them the technical stuff, but they won't be as good as me or as bad as me or stuff like that. It's like different from artist to artist. So I thought, well, that's a cool idea, and now I'm recording everything I create. Right now, I'm in the middle of a process for my next image and making a tutorial basically. And
see, I knew it.
So it's like practicing for that. So if it works, and if I can do it, and if I'm good at it or good enough for my taste, sure.
Yeah, the thing with teaching is really difficult, because you're never the best teacher and you're never the best artist. If you're a true artist, you're never at a point, like if you're a really, really true artist, you're never at a point where you're the best. Because the true artist knows that they're never the best, and they will never be the best, and that's just what it is, and that's part of creating, and I think that's what draws us to it, but that also is what hurts us so much, because the reality that we will never be the master of this thing in which we love so much and want to like spend our lives basically trying to control and dominate, but we just can't, because it's just not possible, But
the other thing is like for example, if I teach someone and he's not happy with it because he suck, for example, like I am not as good as you, give me my money back, for example, I would be like, really, I don't know what to tell them.
Yeah,
Like,
well, you just tell them best of luck.
Practice more, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that happens too. I mean, that happens with us in the school. It's like, you're gonna the thing with teaching is you're gonna get a wide range, and the statistics that we found, and that's also same throughout everything, is as hard as you want to teach and as hard as you want to make that improvement on people, you can only take somebody so far. They have to see the light for themselves, and that's up to them. The teacher is as we are a facilitator for opening the windows of possibilities, but the student must pick which door to open and open it themselves and enter at free will and completely immerse themselves. And that not everybody has that, and you have to come to terms. It hurt me a lot because in the beginning I was like, I'm going to change everybody, I'm going to make this awesome and stuff, and I realized that is, no matter how hard I try, it's just not possible. So what you have to do, I think, in regards to this, from my advice, is that you just have to put the time in and really focus on like what you can do personally for those people, and only realize that only like maybe 5 to 10% of the people that take your class or take your learning will really understand it. I'm reading this book right now. It's an incredible book. I love it. It's probably one of the best books I've read in a long time. It's called Mastery.
The one you've been spamming me.
Spamming all the time. Hard. Well, I just finished Smart Cuts. And then Mastery is the next one. This is a book that I've had for a long time.
The one Vitaly posted?
Yes, Vitaly's been talking about it too. And I've had it for, I don't know, like 6 months or so. Somebody on my podcast mentioned it to me to watch it or to read it. And it is just incredible. And in this book, I'm only about 2 hours in. There's 14 hours of it. It's insane. But so far it's incredible. But it's breaking down what it is to be a master of your craft, and just like for me, I feel like it's written for my soul. It's so perfectly put.
I want to read it on the stream.
Yeah, post it on the stream.
Here it is.
Yeah, I want to read it, and I'm not like a big book guy, so I don't know why it's. But you listen to a lot of audiobooks, right?
Oh yeah, I try to go through at least 1 or 2 books a month.
Nice. I should do that too.
If you just make a habit of walking like an hour a night or something like that, and go wander and listen. It's so good for your soul, man. Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, I'm learning so much, and in this book they mention in the Middle Ages there was this big breakthrough in teaching, and what happened is the apprenticeship happened. It occurred in the Middle Ages, and basically what was happening is that a family would need to have more hands on the product that they were making in order to continually make things. And so what they do is they would hire on an apprentice. Anybody from like 12 to 17 years old, they had to sign a contract to be with them for 7 years, and and they would have to be there, put in the time, and be a part of that for 7 years. And after the 7-year mark, they would have to make a masterwork that would live up to the potential and get a pass. And that's when they became a journeyman. That's when they could go off and do their own thing. And when I was listening to this, I was like, fuck, this is insane. Like 7 years to be working closely with a master, like, of course you're going to be great. And I started thinking about it today, and then the Learn Square and the school, and how rapid and how fast it is. And I was like, if only we had the ability and potential to do a longer term thing that was this long extension, because it's just like, it's so difficult to really make that strong impact in a short amount of time. It's possible, but you have to be on like a Vitaly level mindset where you're just going to beast mode through everything, and you're going to be smart about every shortcut that you make in order to achieve your way through things. So it was really that book is incredible, but that thing really opened up my mind to the idea of like, wow, what is an apprenticeship? What does it mean to do that? And I think that's a brilliant way of looking at it. Like, you would spend 7 years with a master, then you would have to go create a masterwork. It was like me spending 7 years with you, Cornelius, working really closely, learning everything that you're doing, and then understanding your taste, and then making a piece that's as good, if not better. Like that.
Nice.
That'd be. I mean, for me, I would love to have.
I will move in with you and live in your basement.
I have a spare room. You can come live in the house. So.
Nice.
Hey, I mean, that's to a degree, that's exactly what we're doing here at Twitch. Ash, the project mother that we've just started, it's exactly going to be that. And the idea there is to, whenever we run into problems of figuring out what can we do to improve and find that finite quality that we're after, getting artists and people that we look up for to get us some help. I guess that's the ideal goal with that project. And in a way, if you're part of the community, being part of a Learn Squared community, apart from just being a student, it's also meaning you're here on Twitch and listening to us and spending time and devoting a little bit of your time to be here and listen to what we do and talk and whatnot. That alone is a support that you guys are giving us, and the reason we're doing this is also to give something back. And we realize that not everyone can afford getting lessons. For some, $100 is a lot. For others, it's not. But at least we can get something out of here. But going back to the point, it's exactly what we're trying to do here.
It's interesting. I think with the teaching thing though, I think Cornelius, I think it's rad. I think it's actually really smart of you to really hyper think and overanalyze your teaching ability. That actually shows that you're a good teacher. Whether you believe me or not, I think that's a good sign. That because I think a good teacher is also very self-conscious and self-aware, and very aware that what impact you're putting on people. And it's really difficult. It's heartbreaking sometimes, but at the same time, those 5% or the 10% of people that actually understand what you're saying and go on to do things and put the work in, it makes it all worth it. It really does. And at the same time, you can the one thing I've learned about life with this stuff is you can only be who you're going to be, and the world will react how they will. It's the same thing with that piece that you just made. You put all your subconscious thoughts and feelings and tension and energy on your off hours into this piece, and then it went off to the world. And the world responded positively to it, but you didn't know how to receive it well. But it's just a part of it because it becomes something else once it's out there, and that's just a psychological conundrum that occurs, that you have to kind of deal with as you go through the process of it. So, it's really interesting. I don't know. I mean, the thing that I was really on the Maciej and was coming to me, and when he was doing Gumroads, he's like, dude, you gotta do Gumroad. It's awesome. It's really popular. It's very successful. People are really loving this. And I was like, that sounds cool. And then he was really telling me come on, do one. It's awesome. And I was like, yeah. Shut up, Maciej. Me being a typical ass. And
come on, I need those potato bucks. Come on.
Potato bucks. Hashtag potato bucks. And so and then I was like, nah, I was just too self-conscious to teach and stuff. I feel like I have a lot of knowledge and experience on certain things, but I'm very wide open about other things because I'm self-taught. So there's a lot of things that I don't know, and I didn't feel qualified enough to teach many things because of that. So that was one of my biggest concerns. But I think the one thing that I've learned as an artist by teaching what I know, it actually helps me be better at knowing what I know, if that makes any sense,
it's just we talked about this. It's the same thing with preparing talks for conferences and stuff like that, because you have to look at your older stuff, and in order to explain it correctly and that people will understand it, you have to reflect a lot about yourself and your work and stuff like that. So I think it's the same when it comes to teaching, because it's just the same thing. Basically, it's information, and you have to, I don't know, structure it somehow to and press it in the brains of your students. And it's I think it's there are similarities between preparing talks and teaching stuff to other people.
I think doing a retrospective is really good, and being conscious of things, because even when you explain how when you're making this piece, you were kind of lost in it and just kind of going about it and creating it and letting that go through. I think you would really enjoy this mastery book. I think you would actually get a lot out of it, because I think what it would do is it help personify a lot of these things that you would consider intuition. It's actually going to help you understand why it is that you are a prolific creator at a high level. It'll help you explain that, and it'll also help you figure out a formula. I'm not sure if you want a formula. When I was first starting out, I would always think I was told through my life that if you're going to be an artist, you're going to be a starving artist. You'll never make it. You'll be an artist, and you'll just kind of you'll barely get by. And that was the scariest thing ever to me, because I knew in my heart in my heart of hearts,
your heart of hearts,
in my heart of hearts, that I wanted to be an artist. I just knew it, that was my calling. That was going to be my life, that I was going to be an artist. And it scared the hell out of me because I knew that it was going to be tough, and I didn't want it to be, because life shouldn't be such a freaking struggle. But and years later, finding out how successful you can be if you want to be an artist, and that actually just comes down to understanding your own practices and how to replicate things and stuff. But this book actually is really helping me locked in on those abstracts. And when I first started, I would think oh, it comes as art is an intuition, art is a feeling, you have to do this and that. That's all bullshit. That's stuff that somebody told you. That's a lie. I really firmly believe that's a lie, and I think it's my life's duty to cancel that bullshit out, because it just ruins people, because they think that art needs to be this thing that you feel. It is, but I think it's more than that. And I think if you can understand how to do that, then you're going to be in that level of Leonardo da Vinci or something, where you're able to reproduce things out of your curiosity, being able to be a very curious person and always wandering about things and trying to figure out things. The thing in this book is really interesting is they're talking about Leonardo da Vinci, and they were saying how when he did this piece of this angel, he was he was tasked with painting these angel wings, and instead of just doing the stereotypical angel wings, what he did is he got crazy possessed by it and the curiosity. He went to the market and bought a bunch of birds and then broke them apart and figured out how their wings worked, because his goal was to paint the most realistic bird wings, angel wings that come off and they feel like they're integrated. And he accomplished that, and it was unlike anybody had ever seen before. And he invented a style also in painting in that piece too, which is I think it's the wet brush, which is multiple layers of multiple different washes of tones to kind of create that multiple depth of the flesh. So it was really interesting because his pursuit of curiosity led him to understand how to paint these things beyond. So it's again, as I'm saying, it's he's, whether he knew it or not, he was solidifying things by curiosity, which was then fueling his art. It wasn't about the process of making the art. It was about the curiosity of making imagery or whatever. Same with sketching. That's what he would draw. He would draw out in the fields. He would draw flowers, and then understanding how the flowers would work was his curiosity, and just kept spawning and kept going crazy, So yeah, this is all stuff that are really, I don't know, it's really interesting to me. And I think personifying these things really helps other art creators.
Yeah, well, the fear with me right now is if I know my formula, maybe I know what kind of a bad artist I am. So it's knowing that it's from intuition, it comes from intuition and from some place I can see right now, and it's a ability that comes out in phases, and I don't, it just happens and stuff like that. It feels like it can be gone the next time you make an image. It's it's not stuck at you. It's not I don't know. It's like a ghost,
Yeah.
And
it is there. It's your passenger, though. I think of it as a passenger.
Yeah, and if I know the formula, I don't know. I would have the fear that I just, I don't know. That's the magic behind it. That the magic is vanishing somehow. So it's
that's
not
fear talking. Yeah. I disagree. I know that it wouldn't be that, because I think that's fear talking. Honestly, I mean,
it's
of course
fear.
You have your opinion.
Really, it's fear. It's
yes,
totally. But well, fear is irrational. So
yeah, fear is completely rational. And
that is so true.
When it's actually interesting. I was talking to Maciej this week, and I read through Savage Beauty. It's a book. Is this Savage Beauty? Is that what it's called? That book?
Yeah, it's Savage Beauty.
Yeah.
It's about Alexander McQueen.
Yeah, it's can you link
I will
everybody to the book?
Link it too.
Yeah, this is a book. It's called Savage Beauty. It was really interesting. Are you familiar with Lee Alexander McQueen's fashion design work?
Cornelius?
No,
I don't think so.
Savage.
Or maybe I am, but I don't recall the name. So
yeah, I'm sure you've seen his work. I mean, he's
probably.
He's a world-renowned fashion designer.
I want to do something with fashion too, by the way.
Yeah, we should do
why.
it. Well, I think maybe like what Maciej was talking about with this project called Mother, maybe like if you're interested, we can kind of play with that on the stream sometime. I'm sure everybody adores you, and I think if you're interested, you can come back on, of course, anytime you like. But here's some of his pieces, and he's always known for doing really interesting things. But the interesting thing that I found while reading through his book, here's the book too, by the way. Let's see if it's in Amazon.
I already linked it.
Okay, cool. So everybody knows Savage Beauty.
Is he like a costume designer for movies?
No, he's a fashion designer, and it's really interesting. Like his fashion came from his inspiration and muse from his culture in Scotland and stuff, and how like he was just like really.
How many movies ripped off?
Well, yeah, tons.
Yeah, it looks like. Do you know The Cell?
Yes, of course, and that's Eiko, and Eiko's gone too, unfortunately. Eiko Ishioka, she's a fashion designer, and she did incredible stuff. Super talented.
Okay,
yeah,
there is.
She also did Dracula too. Francis Ford Coppola saw her work and knew that she had to do the costumes for his Dracula film, and that was one of those special parts that made it really quite exquisite. The Cell. There's also. What's that one movie? When I forget.
The Fall.
The Fall, yeah, which is like Turix. I can't remember his name, but yeah, that film.
Tarsem Singh.
Yeah, Tarsem. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, his that film was just visually stunning, really beautiful film.
Yeah, like he made like 4 movies. Every movie he made is crazy, like on a visual standpoint.
He's a commercial artist originally, and I think if you look back at like the retrospective of, let's say, I was just talking about this about Ridley Scott's career, and Ridley Scott had done like maybe like he had said that he'd done about 3,000 commercials before he did Alien. So well, the film before that, I forget what it was called. He did it in the film right before that. The Duelist, that's it. And yeah, thank you. I love that you know these names. But yeah, he did The Duelist, and then I think what led him to do Alien and why Alien was such a successful film visually and the stunner is because all this practice that you put in there. Nice punch sound. And just to talk about practice and think about doing 3,000 commercials. You know that you would know how to get things done fast. You would know your best DOP. You would know how to build sets. You'd know how to build depth. You'd know how to look at things. Like the thing I've been studying a lot in his films is how much stuff is in the foreground that's out of focus. If you watch a lot of his shots, look at them closely. There's a lot of foreground elements that are cutting between us and the subject matter. It's really interesting. Been doing a lot of search and like just looking at that stuff, but. I'm going on a tangent here, but I think the thing is important to realize and acknowledge is shut your face is time. But the thing I wanted to talk about with Alex McQueen, to go back on the subject that you were talking about, is he killed himself at age 40, and it's really sad to think about that.
Really?
Yeah, and I think I think what you're getting at, that fear and the rhythm and finding the formula and all that stuff and being afraid of it, I think that the sooner that you give away to that and let that be, the faster and the more prolific you will become. And because I think what society is telling us is that if you know a formula, then it's repetitious and it's not going to be good. I think that's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is that once you understand the triggers, then you're understanding what to push when and how, and that would be the alchemy of when and how is what would make your art unique and original and will constantly keep inspiring you, if that makes sense.
Well, I will try it.
I think it's interesting. You should read that book,
it's like,
though.
Yeah, okay. So it's like everything you just said is explained in that book, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm only 2 hours in on a 14-hour journey, so there's many.
So it's a really big book.
Yeah, it's a very big book, but if you get books like that, I like to listen to, and I also like to read. If they're really good, I will listen to them. And then I'll also go off and read them too. So this book I'll probably go through twice in audio. I think I actually listened to 4 hours yesterday because I was just so in the zone listening to it, because he was just like feeding my soul with all this information. It was kind of summarizing a lot of like these unfinished thoughts that I had in my mind that led to me having these really interesting resolves. But yeah, you should get into that. And what I'm getting at with this, so I just feel like when you're not, but some people do.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga would wear it.
Yeah, of course, but she would wear it in a music video, then take that shit off and go like, sit and go do yoga pants or something, so
who knows,
those Lady Gaga yoga pants, dude.
By the way, are you getting like a lot of ideas for your work from like books?
Yes, tons. Well, I think the thing with that books give me is they give me fuel to silence a lot of the thoughts that are like running around in my head, because I'm constantly trying to find the least common denominator, if that makes sense. I'm trying to figure out the answer to questions that are really large, always.
Okay.
Like, why is art the way it is? Why are artists insecure? What is taste? Like those big questions, I'm always constantly trying to figure out what is it that these things are doing for people. And I'm trying to find it for myself too, and that's something that you'll come upon when you start teaching too. You're going to start asking yourself these questions if and when you do start teaching. So,
yeah,
which we should. And I think everybody here would be like, yeah, do class. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I think it'd be cool.
Maybe.
Well, we talked about it too, like doing a class, if it's successful, it could financially set you up to just kind of focus on your own work, and then like not wasting.
That would be so rad.
Yeah. Well, if that's what you want, then you can do it for sure. I think teaching, I've seen it in a lot of artists. I've seen a lot of artists be successful with teaching, and it'll help them go off and be able to do their own personal projects or take the family vacation that they wanted to, or whatever it might be, or help with weddings or whatever, So the ability to kind of like share your knowledge with people, have them take that knowledge and pay you for it, and then you using that payment to go and make more work. I mean, that's like a complete circle right there, So yeah.
It's like a win-win situation for both sides.
Hey, I'm gonna insert myself here with some questions.
Yeah.
All right,
let's go. Do it.
I think it was 2 questions here for Cornelius. First one was, did you go to school to learn about art and design fundamentals, or you were self-taught?
I started being self-taught. I started when I was 6 years old. So I made like the first digital artwork when I was 6, but the like taking it serious started in 2003, I think, and so I pretty much knew more about like the technical side of things, like the programs from Adobe, like for example Illustrator or Photoshop, and more than my teachers would know. So I'm like partly self-taught, but I have like also an education in like design. So I went to college and studied design, and they told me everything about typography and design theory and Bauhaus and stuff like that. I know all of this. So it's like when it comes to I don't know, logo design and stuff like that, I know where to start when I'm building like things from daily life, or like trying to build stuff that should be usable or look usable. And back in the days that was more of an issue, so and I focused more on style, but the education helped a lot. So I went to college, and I don't know if I don't know the right word in English for that. It's like wait, I have to look it up. It's apprenticeship, basically, education. It's like it took 3 years, and usually when in Germany, when you go to like in I don't know, you get a job, you go to this apprenticeship, and it takes you 3 years, and after that you have like the title, you're like a web designer or stuff like that. And I made this, and after that I went to college. So I have like a technical education and a theoretical education, and that helped a lot. But I think most, like 75%, was like self-taught, like all the technical things, like the programs, the pipelines, how textures work, how the physics behind
same thing,
shaders work, and stuff like that. It's like everything is self-taught.
That's an interesting thing if you mentioned that, because I've noticed that it's a very similar process for all the people that I know to be badass. They taught themselves 70% after school. School is just like an entry. Your teacher is just an entry point. It's like after what you do after is what really defines you, I think.
Yeah, what I feel about teaching is the fact that you can nudge someone in the right direction or steer someone in the right direction. There's a lot of artists that I came across that had a wrong idea about something, and then once you correct that just one little thing, that doesn't even seem to be anything technical. It's more like a mindset or something that is somewhere in there, you know? It's not really like, oh, use Maya or Cinema 4D. It's nothing related to software. It's usually something related to how people think about art and how people think about hard work and studying and all that stuff. And once you nudge that person just slightly in the right direction, it could be one lesson, it could be one talk that you did someday, and someone took away the 5 minutes of you rumbling about something and took it really too hard, and that thing pushes the person in the right direction. And then that 70% of self-teaching and self-motivation and putting the hours in and the right mindset into it, that's actually what makes a huge difference.
I actually don't know one single artist who learned everything he knows just in school. It's not a single one. Like all the great artists, like Marek Denko, for example, is like a 3D guy from Slovenia. Everything he learned is self-taught. I don't think he studied computer science, I think, but had nothing to do with arts, and it's 100% self-taught.
That's awesome, and I think that's I think that's a very really true thing. You know, I think that's like something that is innate in a lot of people, and I think that's what separates. You know, I think Maciej mentioned it when he had Grant Warwick on was it Art Cafe that you had Grant on?
No,
was it Twitch? Was he on Twitch?
It was actually Art Cafe. We had him on Art Cafe, and did we have him on Twitch? But we will have him on Twitch
we'll
sure.
We'll have him on Twitch soon enough. But no, I think the thing you guys said, and I completely agree when it comes to 3D or just painting or art in general, it's like, it's one thing to get it looking good, but
I'll be right back, by the way.
Go ahead. It's one thing to make it look good, but when you want to make it look great, it's like that extra 10% or extra 5% is like the difference between 1 month and 10 months. You know, it's like that final mark.
Exactly.
And I think that's what people, whether like you're aware of it, I'm sure you are aware of it. When people look at your work, for example, like your recent piece, then I think they see like there's an underlying thing that they all look at this and go like, fuck, you did that all on 3D? Like how, you know, like, or, and they know everybody knows the answer. We do know it. We know it, whether people think that they don't or not. Of course, we know it's hard work, and we know it's mostly like, well, how did you say no to client work? Yeah, everybody's looking for shortcuts. There's no cool button, you know, like make it cool. Yeah. It's all a matter of time, and that difference between good and great is like, it's an exponential growth to get it up to that 100% mark. When you're making a piece, like let's say your latest piece, when you're making 52 hertz, like what's the time process for you on this? Because I know it's a pretty staggering process in regards to the time, and a lot of it's due to you just kind of wandering and kind of playing around with it and getting lost in things, right?
Yeah, it's like I don't know, a lot of it is trial and error. So I try like dozens of techniques on, for example, the ground. I tried like one big map, one tiny map, and tile it, and then I used like these star patches from that ZBrush, and then I eventually ran out of VRAM, so I can't render it anymore, and I have to like, it's like problem solving basically. Yeah. The whole image is like, you have like a bunch of problems, and you try to find the best solution for each of them.
That's a great one.
So you have a list, and for example, I want this phone booth, and the problem is it has to look good. Basically, that's like the end problem. And so you go into detail, and if you say, for example, you start building it, and it takes a lot of time, and you're frustrated, and you think about using like another program, for example, Fusion 360. That speeds things up for a bit, and so you tackle this piece by, I don't know, driving from problem to problem and solving it. In the end,
it's like a bunch of crying babies all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's really frustrating from time to time. And I made this joke at Industry Workshop. I don't know if you were on the first panel on day one, and someone asked me, how do I do this? How do I try to get motivated for like 4 months to do this? And the simple answer is, if I don't feel like it, I just don't do it. It's just it's just like if I wake up,
just do it.
Exactly. If I wake up and start working on something and it just sucks and I don't feel like it, then I just don't do it and I make a break.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it takes me so much time to do it. It's like 4 months. I need 4 months for one single image. There's no client that would ever pay me for something like that.
Well, you never know, because Gregory Crutzen does that with his photographs. So.
Yeah, well, he's an artist and he's in galleries and stuff like that. So maybe that
somewhere.
will happen to maybe that will happen to digital art one day. It would be nice.
Well, if
I
you
think.
keep taking it that far, it will. You know.
Yeah,
to create an audience.
And so. I think that the technical stuff behind it, if you know how to do it, you could do this image in like maybe 3 weeks. If you have all the assets and manpower and you are not that arrogant and say, I have to model everything myself and stuff like that. But it's like...
Did you model everything yourself?
Oh, God. Yeah. How tired do you get of that question? It's like a loaded question. Like, why do people even care anymore? It's weird.
What brush did you use?
Yeah.
What brush did you use? Yeah.
It's a CG Choice Award brush. No, it's I don't know. I don't feel like buying.
Gotcha, bitch.
That's what's up.
The thing is, like, if I buy a lot of models, it would like be expensive.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, I have like a lot of models, and I don't know. It's like quality control for me.
Yeah.
I know what I can do and how it will look, and I don't have to rework everything, and it's easier that way, I think.
But you don't model all this stuff. Like, you didn't make that car and shit like that, right?
Yeah, sure, I made the car.
You made the car?
Yes, everything.
Everything you modeled in here. Really?
Everything. Yeah, the car, but well,
hate you.
The thing with the car is that's like a weird thing with a car. I used an existing car, a 3D model, a low poly model of an existing car, and used it like as a blueprint for a high poly model. So, yeah, and it's all, you can see it's all the same car.
Yeah.
That's because one car took me 1 week to build. So it was I had like not the motivation to build like 10 different cars. So I just said, oh, fuck it, I will hide it in the fog and
hide it in the fog. Change the angle, change the color.
Cloner, render instances on that.
You have random instance node, and you can give it each another color, and it's really easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a question to you, Cornelius. Are you interested, or have you looked at real-time PBR engines such as Unity or Unreal Engine?
I haven't looked at it.
Or the 3D Code does PBR texture in real time. It's epic, too.
I have looked at Substance Designer like the last 10 days or something like that.
Yeah, what do you think of it?
It's crazy cool. It's really good. And it's quite easy. It's easier than I thought.
Yeah.
So
did you try that other one for Photoshop? I can't remember.
Substance. You mean Quixel?
Yeah, Quixel.
I tried the demo like 2 years ago, and it crashed, and that's it.
It was 2 years ago, though.
Yeah. So
I heard great things about Quixel too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I heard that it's good in the like in the base of what you can do with it. So it's like not
it's
open
very easy
for a lot of changes. If you want like really fucked up special stuff, then it's not that good. But if you want to do what it's known for, it's perfect.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Substance Designer and Painter seems to have way more options. It's a little more difficult to get into compared to Quixel, because Quixel is basically a Photoshop plugin. Yeah. It's very Photoshop native. Substance is like a separate software that you have to learn and use. But once you do that, it has way more options you can play with for sure.
And to get back to the question is with the Unreal Engine and stuff like that, it's, I don't know, it's so, I always feel like it's very limited. You have to like, you can't use high poly models, and you have like baked normal maps and stuff like that. And I never do this. When I make like a ZBrush model, I always use the high poly, because fuck it, I have like a 3D program and 2 Titan X's and 64 gigabytes of RAM. I don't need to optimize it. It's like the high poly always looks the best, I think. And it's when I can render it, it's fine. So, and with games it's like different. You have to make sure everyone can play it and stuff like that, and it's like always compromising, because you have to care for that stuff and take, I don't know, make compromises and break things down and look that you don't use too many polygons, and the texture size isn't you can't use 8K maps, for example, or you can, I don't know, but it's like, it feels very limited. So it was just, I don't know, I am not.
I guess the argument could be made that you could make real-time things, and you can definitely use high poly stuff. It's just going to slow down the engine quite a lot. Yeah. And make it almost feel like you're actually rendering every frame.
Yeah.
At which point he's like, why not just using render engine for that?
I saw like a lot of crazy stuff with Unreal Engine, like there were like Alex Roman kind of stuff, like architectural movies that looked like a lot of Alex Roman's Third and the Seventh.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 guys, one French guy and I don't know the other one, and they make a game right now.
Yeah, what's that called
this
again?
game, HK, I think, HK something. It's like with these alleyways and with a cat. Yeah, it's
HK Devlog. Yeah, this shit's nuts, dude.
And it's all real time, and it looks better than my artwork. So it's
how dare they?
It goes to show that, you know, it's all about the effort you put into the artistry that you want to create. Yeah, and then everything else is just tools that come along the way and make things possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people approach me and ask me if I am working on this game, because it has like these style similarities, and I'm always like, no, I wish I would. It's crazy. But
No,
it looks amazing.
Yeah, and just people seeing this, I think, again, it's just inspiring. And that's the cool thing about like the internet, being able to see this stuff real time and being aware of like the level that people are hitting. It's really cool. It's eye-opening too, just kind of like the level that people are getting to. A lot of this stuff, I think, is understanding. I think most of it, like you mentioned earlier, is having a good eye for detail and having an eye for context and just lighting in general. Maciej and I have this conversation a lot. Lighting is so important. I mean, without light, you have nothing. No image exists without it. But understanding where to put the lights and how to use them to sort narrative is such an important key and integral part to making proper imagery, whether it's moving or not. And I think that, these guys, as an example, HK Devblog, these 2 French guys that are going out at it, like, bravo to these guys, man. Sorry, go ahead.
The last image with this alleyway with this is actually the inspiration for my next image. Like one part of the inspiration. I really love how they use this pipe stuff, and I'm totally a pipe fan. I use a lot of pipes to cover like
Otomo style.
My laziness and stuff like that.
Otomo pipes.
There was one more question there. Let me find it out somewhere up here.
Nice.
Yeah, those pipes.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I have like a lot of images of Otomo pipes in my Pinterest, I think.
Yeah, everybody, you should check out Cornelius's Pinterest. See, can I tell everybody about it?
Sure.
What's the user profile? I think I have it in mind, but what's it?
Wait a second, I have to look for it. I don't know. It's Zomtech. ZOMTECH. Yes.
Pinterest. Okay. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, if you go here,
it's a lot of. By the way, it's tits. I think also tits. A lot of tits. So.
Well, it's okay.
A lot of boobies.
Yeah.
Persons, is that it? Yeah.
No, it's not safe for work. Person with nothing to wear.
Yeah, awesome. There you go. You can follow him on Pinterest. So you can see kind of the inspiration behind things. So, Otaku Gangster. Boom. Oops. Yeah. Is this gonna be XXX? Okay. No, this is cool.
No, it's inspiration for my next image.
Awesome. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was a question there. It's in regards to your the astronaut image.
Yeah.
Where do you how did you come up with the idea or concept for this piece?
There were like 3 artists, Jeremy Geddes, Jack Crossing, and Todd Hido. And Todd Hido makes like these photographs of buildings in fog. And Jeremy Geddes is a painter who paints astronauts.
Who's the photographer again? Sorry.
Todd Hido. Todd and then Hido, like yeah.
Yeah.
And he makes he makes
these are great.
Yeah, these fog images, and I really really loved them, and I thought about like, I don't know, I like the motive of an astronaut in like usual places. There's like this image from Jack Crossing, who made this astronaut crossing the street in New York while it's burning. Yeah, Fifth Avenue. Yeah, astronaut on fire, exactly. And it's like so weird because it's on the first hand it's an astronaut in the middle of the city, which is weird enough, and then he's burning, and it's like this crazy combination. And so it's like the combination of these images, and I collected a lot of images about fog and stuff like that, like parking lots in fog, gas stations in fog. And
is this you too?
Yeah, it's from Jack Crossing, but it's no, it's my it's my hand.
What the hell, dude?
No, it's
people.
Yeah, well, people. but it's like these motifs from these 3 artists, and I collected all their images over years, and I always thought about it, thought about making like one fog image.
Damn,
but awesome. I didn't have like the render power for it, and then I bought a new PC for 5,000 euros, and yeah, the rest is history.
Daddy's home. Yeah, that's awesome. Here comes Papa. Yeah, a lot of it. I mean, yeah, we talk about computers too, because Maciej and I we both kind of have some pretty powerful machines now. I have 2 machines. Maciej just got a new one being made. He's gonna have it soon. What's the specs on what you got, Maciej? And then we'll ask Cornelius, and then I can break down a little bit for people that are curious. Here comes
20 CPUs,
open your butthole.
200 GPUs. It's a house.
Yeah, Maciej bought a house in Nevada. It's like really cheap, but he just put all these GPUs in it.
The walls are built from GTXs.
Nice.
That's great.
Now, I'm getting four 1080s and.
Why are you opting for 1080s again? Because I think you mentioned it, but I'm curious.
The reason why I'm not getting the new Titan Nexus, even though they have more RAM, which is always useful, is very simple. It's just not cost effective.
Yeah, 1080s are how much right now?
1080 is like $700.
Really?
Per piece.
That's as much as what the 980s were, but now. I mean, what's the
But the Titan Nexus is like what, 1,200, 1,500? It's like double the price, and you're only getting 1,000 more CUDA cores
and 4
more
gigs
RAM. But the clock speeds are slower too, so it's like it's not really that much faster. And for double the price, you can get 2 1080s, which are going to be way faster than the new Titan X.
Yeah.
So it's unless you have unlimited resources and you can just I'm gonna stack like 4 of them in one machine, then it makes a lot of sense. Also, 1080s are more power effective. Like they don't overheat as much compared because they are not consuming as much power either.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of
new technology,
small details. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I mean, I guess the 1080 Ti is gonna come out sometime next year, and it's always going to progress, but it's just I found out that spending $1,000 in the graphics card, the differences are so small compared to like a little cheaper version. Maybe it's gonna have less RAM, but you can get more of them, and once you start stacking them together, it's gonna be way faster than, spending, I don't know, $8,000 on just GPUs that are gonna be slower in a year compared to any other GPU that's out there on a more affordable price. So
well, everything's gonna be slower.
it's like with new cars, right? Like you don't buy a new car unless you're like a freak and you want to have an awesome car and you can afford it, and you buy a new car, or lease it. But if you want to be cost effective and you only care about performance, then you're probably gonna buy something that is used or something else, right?
Somebody mentioned we should do a class on building optimized PCs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
I would totally be down for this. I love building PCs.
Yeah.
But we should get someone who actually knows something about it, not us.
Tom from the Octane group, for example, he knows a lot about PCs, and especially about.
That guy. What's his name? What's his last name?
Tom Glimpse.
Glimpse. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, his face felt Tom Glimpse.
No,
that's not it.
Yeah.
Is this it?
No, it's like with one M, I think.
I know what we should do. We should do UV mapping.
The first name, like one M. Yeah.
There it is.
We should do a UV mapping class. Make it 20 lessons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, understanding how to build a machine is really important too. And yeah, I was like, I've been using Macs for so long. I was like, I don't want to do anything with this. I just want a computer to work. But yeah, you have to get into it, unfortunately. And the unfortunate thing is there's like knowledge everywhere and nobody knows really what you need. And it's just like a big giant mess. It's really hard to tell. It's such a pain in the butt. And the last thing that you want to do as a creative artist is like have to spend a ton of time figuring out like what a fucking CUDA core is, like, but if it's going to make you better at making the images that you need to, then it's like a sacrifice in which you have to go through. So yeah, we should get Jeremy on. That guy's art is awesome, dude. Yeah, he's super rad.
I'm a little bit. I hope he's not pissed that I stole his motive.
Well, I mean, there's also like Raoul Marx. So like and I know that he was an inspiration for you. What he did with Semi-Permanent.
Yeah.
But Semi-Permanent is like a moving Jeremy film, so which is quite similar.
It's a Semi-Permanent. Some client told me that he made this in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and I was like,
by himself. Yeah.
Fuck you, man! I don't believe you.
I believe him because he is really that good. Raul's on another level.
And I saw his astronaut suit, and I thought, oh, maybe I should do something with astronauts. And it was like the combination of all these astronauts and Jeremy Geddes, and the influence of all these guys made me do it in the end.
I think we all have influences, even when you look at like the Gregory Crutzen thing, when he talks about his love for David Lynch films, and especially a particular film that opened up his mind. And I think that's something that you'll find when you read that mastery book, if you ever do, which I strongly suggest you do, and everybody here, because it's really good, is it's going to kind of expose you to the idea that you are going to be inspired by somebody, and that's going to be an amazing outlet for you to have that exposure, because what they're doing is they're showing you the potential that you have within yourself that you didn't know, but they're showing you that it's possible. And that line of possibility is in itself is a very significant, important thing that like is really good to always latch on to, so yeah, it's really good. Yeah, damn him, dude. Yeah, you know how much of influence this is for me, especially with the thing I'm building now. So it's like, damn, dude, how did you do this in 3 weeks, man? How did you do this?
Bring him on the stream, maybe.
Yeah, I've done a podcast with him. He's a friend of mine. He's one of the nicest people I know. Incredibly humble and just like crazy talented, like I think the cool thing is he knows just the right amount of things to get the right amount of things out. He doesn't care to like learn every bit. He just does what he needs to get the ideas that he has in his head out. But when you look at this, if you were to look at this 10 years from now and you say like, one person will make this in 3 weeks, what is it going to be 10 years from now? And I think people are talking about in the stream is very accurate, which is like real-time renders, game engine stuff, using that to kind of tell stories. My friend Anthony was like, he was playing around with taking the cinematic figures and stuff inside of Grand Theft Auto and making narratives in it, because you can move characters around and you can kind of create narratives. You switch the music up, and there's also like a really interesting thing that comes from there, which you can use like the engines inside of games, create cinematics of your own and tell stories, you know. So somebody asked a good question, kind of a valid question too. I'm not sure the exact words because it's gone now, but do you guys, oh, here it is right here. Do you guys ever see the workflow of moving off your desktop with the increasing push for mobile or touch devices? What about AR, VR environments, apps, and devices such as Tilt Brush and Magic Leap? I'll let Cornelius answer that, Maciej, and then I'll hit it at the end.
VR is like, I don't know. I tried these VR headsets at Gamescom.
Yeah.
In Cologne, but I don't know. I have like there's like no connection with me to that at the moment. I tried. I
like it. You're honest. That's good.
It's like I tried to render. No, Otoy asked me if I could render this for VR.
Yeah.
Like a 360 thing, and then the Creators Project, this Vice thing, made like an article about that. And I tried to reach out to HTC that they sent me a free HTC Vive, which they didn't. And that's what was like my only attempt in VR. Basically. So
send me free shit. No, fuck off.
I like your style, sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like $1,000, and I never worked with this, so I don't know if it's worth it. And I don't like spending $1,000 on stuff that I don't know much about. So yeah.
Right on.
It was it's not, I don't know. I never tried it, and I never tried making stuff with it. So yeah.
I personally get kind of sick. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I tried Tilt Brush. It's a fun tool. It's a very different experience to what you do normally on the screen, because it's all of a sudden it's all within the space that you're moving in. So it's a really bizarre, really interesting, and really eye-opening experience. It's just right now it's so bare and so sort of basic that it's really not useful for anything that you could do. But it's a good start. I feel that it's going to be a big thing, especially if there's a new, from what I heard, there's a new sculpting tool, almost like ZBrush sort of, but in VR, which works really well. I've heard. So there's going to be development going that way. The only problem is right now how expensive the headsets are and how uncomfortable they are too, because you're having one large fucking cable that is sticking out of your head and going to a computer. You can trip on it when you're moving around. So once the headsets become a little more comfortable and wireless, I think that's when we're gonna start to see the change.
I wonder when Apple's gonna do it. You know,
I mean, or Samsung is already doing that with the headsets. You can basically use your phone as a VR device.
It's exhausting in your eyes, though, being the phone, the resolution is so close.
I think what's going to happen is we have those OLED screens, Retina. They're going to become more and more advanced in the way that you will not be able to tell the difference between real and screen. It's already getting really advanced. I think it's going to move towards that direction even more. And once the technology sort of catches up with the idea, that's when the revolution is going to happen. We've seen that with digital, with Google, with everything that's happening right now. 3D rendering. 5 years ago, I don't think, Cornelius, you would be able to do the stuff you're doing. I mean, you probably would, but not in the fidelity of what you have right now.
I used V-Ray 5 years ago, and it didn't have like a live viewer, and it wasn't that fast. And the machines
it would take you forever to do that.
Yeah, it's like great, and it's all path traced. There's like no compromise in terms of quality. It's like it's brute force in Octane, and to render this image in that resolution was like, it took 50 hours. But
holy crap!
And people are always like bragging like it's too much time for Octane, it's not that fast, but it's like a path tracer, and to do this in V-Ray with brute force, like both brute force engines, in that resolution, it would at least take
3 years.
50 to 60. Yeah, well, 50 to 60 hours still. Also, it wouldn't be faster. It's like the real thing. You can't get closer to realism in terms of like the render process.
Well, you could throw a couple more cards at it, and then you'd probably
yeah,
be good,
well,
so.
yeah, exactly.
And Octane Cloud's coming out too soon, and that's going to be a big game changer for everybody because you don't necessarily have to have a crazy machine in order to produce the images that you need because you can just use their cloud, you know. So.
Well, I am so looking forward to this. I will only use that for like.
It's gonna be interesting. I gotta say, next 5-10 years.
Oh,
it's gonna be really interesting.
Gonna be huge difference, you know.
10 years, there's like I think it will evolve into like no render times at all. I think in 10 years we don't have to think about render times and like PC power and like which graphic card do you buy. I think that doesn't matter anymore in like 10 years. You have like a laptop and you can run all the 3D programs you want to run.
Or maybe AR or VR or whatever.
And then you like that, for example, I think maybe VR will be like the thing that needs render time, but like still images or animations, I don't know. I don't think so.
It's funny, we had this conversation, Ash, recently about children and you know, the novelty of going out and playing in the backyard and not having computers and not having cell phones and distractions, where cell phone is almost like an extension of your limb.
Oh yeah,
when you don't have it, you're missing a limb. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, big thanks to the convenience that made by Apple and companies like that.
Yeah, and we were talking about like how we, you know, me and yourself, like we were born in the age of regular line phones without even the buttons themselves. You had to actually, you know, you had that circular thing that you had to unwind to call someone, and if someone had zeros in their number, you're like, fucking asshole, there's zeros in the number. And like kids today, it's just like, what are you talking about? Like no internet, like no iPads, like what?
Andrew.
Andrew Drewby. And I think, you know, for us it was a big change to see how digital era has progressed and how much have changed over the last 2 decades, and that's going to be the same for our children with AR and VR, I think.
Yeah, I know it is. It's exponential growth, you know. Technology is going to constantly, because it's a market and it's a consumer market, and they're going to only keep chasing the money, and the money is going to keep creating innovation. So, and the person that makes the best innovation will be the top. So, yeah, it's all part of it. We got to wrap this up soon. This has been amazing. Seriously, it's awesome. This has been a really nice flowing conversation amongst homies, and it's really cool to have you on here to get everybody a little bit more exposed to kind of how you're thinking and all that stuff. And also for them to be aware that you're going to be teaching at Learn Squared. Yes!
Yeah! It's official.
We're just going to bully you into the situation. No, we're just joking. It's a bad joke. But
You said it. Everyone heard it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you committed already online, so that's kind of part of the contract, so it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. But no, before we go, Maciej and I and the rest of the school have to give a shout out to Mohammed, Momo Gods, I believe is his username on here. Momo, if you're here, a little shout out to you. You're kicking butt, dude. You're being a big part of the school, the community, you know, what you're doing for all the other students, and just being active in the Slack chat and just being like, you know, super positive. And John's telling us what you're doing and stuff. We get kind of packed in with everything and we get kind of distracted. But I personally, and same with Maciej, we just want to say thanks for being awesome, being a hero of the community. You rock. And for that, we're going to give you a free course of your choosing. So there you go, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Just get at John. He's going to give you access to it because you're awesome, and we wanted to continue that. And also, we want to help, like, you know, further develop people that want to learn more and all that stuff too. So we're willing to give that stuff away for people that want that. So thank you to Mohammed. Thank you to Momo Gods. I believe that's his username. And then this week too, in honor of Momo, we're going to be giving off 10% of everybody's orders up until Friday, September 16th. If you use the promotion code MOMO, and that's going to be in Momo's name. So I don't even think he's here. Unfortunately, he's missing this, so we'll have to send him a link to it. But he's a really awesome guy. This is a very long Twitch stream. This is the longest I've ever done. So, but yeah, so that's a little props to our epic student base and stuff too. So yeah,
it's intense and really, really encouraging to see how much community does for us here. it's like really makes me tear up a little bit.
Dude, Cornelius,
it's all good.
Thank you so much for coming on, man.
No problem.
Really
Anytime.
Appreciate it. No,
dude, that was a fun one, man. That was a fun one.
We'll have to have you come on when we get Curtis on. We'll do some fusion parties and stuff and hang out and have fun. And Curtis can drop, because Curtis he knows how to do all this stuff. Fusion party. So that'd be awesome to have you come on. That'd be great to have you come on when we're doing that.
I think we have fusion party scheduled. I just need to check out when that's happening. But I know it's already in box for.
I already have
to happen.
A date with him, basically.
Nice.
That's right. Yeah, Curtis. Yeah.
Yeah. But sure, if you have like a stream set up, I will gladly join.
Awesome. You're awesome.
Yeah, you're always welcome, dude. Anytime you see us online, like, hey, I would like to crash in that party, and
sure,
let us know. We're here.
Yeah, we'll just join you on the Skype calls, and you can come along, and we'll play. Yep. So awesome. Yeah. Big thanks to everybody that's here. This has been a long one. I hope you guys enjoyed
Fusion party, cubes on me.
Oh my God. Who said that? Mark Twins? Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Marker Twins? Oh, that's great.
That's so good.
Yeah. Booleans on me. All right, guys. Epic. Good times. We'll keep in touch, and we'll talk soon, okay? Thank you, everybody out there. Nice. You guys have a great day. Keep learning, having fun. Spread the love. Thank you to Momo. Use Momo, MOMO, at the checkout for the promotional code. Get 10% off anything you get from Learn Squared. So there you go. All right, guys.
See ya.
Peace.
Cheers.
Cheers.